Hey, welcome to Honest Reviews. Today I'm going to be giving you a little comparison between three different Instax Mini cameras. We've got the Mini 11, the brand new Mini 40, and the older, but I think still a contender, Mini 90. I'm going to be giving you a little look at what's different about these cameras, some of the different features, different price points, so that you can decide which one is right for you. Okay, so one thing you might find if you start looking for an Instax Mini camera is that there are quite a few models out there, and it's hard to tell what the difference is. One thing that I'll start with by saying is that we are talking about the Instax Mini line here, and that is the cameras that shoot Instax Mini film. So Instax film is instant film from the manufacturer Fujifilm. And there are three different types of Instax film. This is the Mini. This is credit card sized. Here's an example of a different style. This film comes in a bunch of different styles with different borders, or you can just get the classic white. Then there's the square, which is the same height, but it's square, the photo. And then there's wide, which is twice as wide as this one. Instax Mini is the most popular. There are the most cameras that shoot this film. And so it's helpful to kind of know what you're getting when you're looking at these different models. So what we have here is we have the Instax Mini 11. That's this one over here. This one comes in a wide range of colors. It has these little jewel things on the front that you can stick on there if you wish. It shoots the mini film. The retail price currently is $70 US. You can get it all over the place from Amazon to B&H, wherever you'd like. Then we have the Mini 40. This is the newer camera that just came out. This one has the same features as the Mini 11. So that is one thing that's really important to know, is that these are both very entry model cameras. You basically are point and shoot. These are point and shoot situations. So you're not changing your settings. You're not turning the flash on or off. Everything is automatic. You just step up to whatever you're shooting, press the shutter button, and that's it. So you can see there's the shutter button over here, nice silver one. These are the ones that come with the little gems, or you can just take those off and it's just a shutter button. Other than that, these cameras don't really do anything else. They have an automatic flash, automatic exposure. I'll turn them around and you can see on the back, nothing there. So really the difference between these two cameras is the looks. So you've got this one with a bunch of different colors, kind of like that fun, cartoonish looking one. It's really cute. The colors, they tend to change the colors every time there's a new model. These ones are very like pastel. And then there's this one, which is definitely the more like retro vintage film camera look. So this is a more premium look. And that's what you're paying the extra $30 for, is just the visuals of this one. Personally, I like the look of this one more. Would I pay $30 extra for it? I don't know. It depends on what I'm using it for. If you were using this like you're a wedding photographer and you want to take shots of your clients during the wedding to give them, yeah, this looks a lot more professional, and so that's probably worth it. If you're just getting one of these as a gift or for your kids or just to have around the house, yeah, maybe this is all you need. Anyway, that's really personal preference. But again, the thing to know about these is that they're basically the same. Then we have the Mini 90, and this one came out quite a while ago. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but this has been a favorite of mine in the Mini line for a long time. It has the really cool styling that's very similar to this. It's got, a textured look. Again, these are not made out of leather or metal. This is all plastic that we're dealing with, but they definitely make it look nice, right? It has that, classic camera look, especially if you hold it like this. One thing about mini cameras and mini film is that they tend to look the best when you're shooting in a vertical orientation because of that white strip at the bottom. If you turn them sideways, you can shoot these cameras sideways, but it just kind of looks weird to me with that white strip on the side. But that's, again, personal preference. But what's interesting about the Mini 90 when it comes to that is that it has a shutter button on the top for when you're holding it in horizontal mode, landscape mode. And then it has a shutter button on the front for when you're holding it in upright or portrait mode. But that is not the only difference with this camera. This camera has many more features in order for you to take some control over the shot that you're getting from the camera. With these ones, you're just kind of showing up and letting the camera do the work. With this one, you have a little bit more room for you to adjust the results that you're getting. So if I turn this around, you'll see we actually have an LCD screen on the back and a bunch of buttons here that will give you different modes. There is the macro mode or close-up mode. With these two, it does have selfie mode, which is kind of the same thing. And the way that that happens with both of them, you turn it on with this little lever, and then you pull the lens and it pops down like that. And that's how selfie mode is on. That lets you focus the camera closer so that if you're taking a selfie, it will be sharp. This one, it has that macro mode, which kind of does the same thing. From there, we have this button with the L and D that lets you lighten or darken the shot. So say you take a photo, but you find that it's way too dark and you can't actually see anything. With these cameras, there's nothing you can really do. You can move, you can try to shoot in a different area. But if you really like that spot and that exact shot with this camera, you can press the lighten, take another photo, and it will automatically overexpose and give you a lighter photo. So that's very handy for me. I really like that. I like to shoot with natural light, and sometimes you can't just change your lighting. You kind of have to work with what you've got. Moving over, this one here is a timer mode. So this can really help if you want to take a self-portrait. You press this timer mode, and then it's going to give you a countdown, and then you can take the photo. It also has a tripod mount on the bottom right there. So you can put this on a tripod, use that timer mode, and then take portraits of yourself that aren't selfies. Neither of one of these has a tripod mount, by the way. So that is, again, a feature that is just in the Mini 90. Then moving along, we have this button here. This is the flash button, and this lets you make sure that the flash is on in case it decides not to fire, or my favorite, turn the flash off. I love being able to turn the flash off. I don't always like the lighting that comes from having a direct flash. And so having that ability to turn it off, again, is only in this camera. These ones, I find they pretty much shoot the flash all the time. So if you don't care about flash, these are fine. If it's something you want to have control over, you'd be looking at this guy. And then there's a mode button here that I believe will change it from like mountains to sports and stuff, and that's just kind of changing the shutter speed depending on whether you need a slower or faster shutter speed. And there's also a bulb mode here where that just lets you open the shutter for as long as you're holding down that shutter release. And that's kind of fun if you want to do like painting with light or anything like that, just more of a creative mode. So really what it comes down to here is that this has a lot more creativity available. It is $120, so it's $20 more than this one. But for me, I kind of like that. I like having that creativity. So for me, that kind of makes sense. But if you were looking between this one and this one, now you're more at a $50 difference, right? The 70 and 120. So that really comes down to, are you getting this for, you know, a little kid who just wants to point and shoot? Or are you a photographer? Do you like to, you know, get the exact shot you're looking for? And that's where these extra controls really come in useful. So that's kind of the rundown. Ultimately, these are kind of simple cameras, but it's really helpful to know the difference, especially, you know, where these don't have a lot of features. This has a lot of features, and the prices are all kind of different. So hopefully you found that helpful. I'd love to know in the comments which one of these you would pick, because it's always so interesting to see who likes which one. Fuji is really going down the route of fewer features with these new cameras. Both of these are newer than the Mini 90. And so I'm curious to see if most people just want to be able to point and shoot, or if there's still some people out there when it comes to these cameras who like that control like I do. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more. We have a lot more videos about all of these cameras, these ones especially. So if you're looking to learn more about the Instax line, this is a great place to be. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.